Hey everyone, this is Brimster, and this is a puzzle I created a couple of days ago called Event Horizon. I was playing around with an idea, and I can't remember who I was talking to. It may have been Xeon Risk or Ramplana. I think it was Xeon Risk. And we were just talking about different things that we were looking at, and I was playing with an idea, and this came out of the idea, and I kind of liked it. So this is going to be one of my Patreon previews, and at some point I'm going to release this on my Brimster unpublished puzzle videos playlist. But as I'm trying to do video solves of my puzzles as I create them, so I've got a record of what I had in mind when I created the puzzle and what I was thinking. This is what I'm doing. So this is Event Horizon. How does this puzzle work? So normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. The green lines, of which there are 3, one of which is big, is a whisper line. And the way whisper lines work is adjacent digits on a whisper line must have be different by at least 5. If for example this was a 3, this would have to be both of these digits would have to be at least 5 different from 3. So they would have to be 8 and 9, and that's the way that works. Then you have killer, which is the digits in cage that you place within cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and digits cannot repeat within a cage. So for example, it's not really relevant here because of the whisper line, but I could not make both of those 3 because digits cannot repeat within cage. That's what we've got going on here. I'm going to restart the puzzle. Let's give this a shot. So the most obvious thing with the whisper line, or it's not obvious, but if you've seen them before, is you can never put a 5 on a whisper line because 5 lower than 5 is 0, 5 higher than 5 is 10. Not valid Sudoku digits. The other thing about it is, if you think about that, once you put a digit that is lower than 5 on a whisper line, when you go 5 different, you will jump over the 5. You will leapfrog the 5, and you will have a higher digit. So if this, for example, was a 1, 2, 3, or 4, then this digit would have to be 5 different. Whichever one of these you pick, the next digit is going to have to be from 6, 7, 8, 9. And once you've got a digit from 6, 7, 8, 9, the next digit will have to be from 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we don't know which one they are, but it does mean that every second digit is going to be the same high-low. The word we often use is polarity. So those are going to be from one polarity, and these are going to be from a different polarity. So one is going to be high and one is going to be low because they are alternating around that line. And you can look at this and you can go, I wonder what's going on. But where it matters is this 9 cage, because in a 9 cage, it's got to have a high digit, and you can never put a 7, an 8, or a 9 into a 3-cell 9 cage. So one of these has to be a 6, and once one of them is a 6, this is a 1, 2, 6 cage, with the 6 being in one of those. So we get that. But we're not yet sure which one is the 6. And this is where this 9 cage comes into effect. Because if this is a 6, this would be a 1, 2 pair, and then this couldn't have a 1 or a 2 in it. And the minimum I could put, if this was a 1, 2 pair, this would be 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5 is way higher than 9. I need to put a 1 or a 2 into this cage. So because I can't make this a 1, 2 pair, this has to be the 6. This is not the 6. Green, if I select all of green, green becomes the high and blue becomes the low. And you can very, very quickly determine the high-low of the ring. This is a 1, 2 pair, so this will be a 3 or a 4. Now, this has to have a 1 or a 2 in it, and it'll have to go in one of those. It could potentially have both. But let's look at this. Now, this 6 on the whisper line has to be surrounded by 1s because it's the only digit between 1 to 9 that is 5 apart from 6. So this becomes the 2. We now have a 1 in this 9 cage. So this is either 2, 6 or 3, 5, but there's a 2 in the box. So this becomes 3, 5. And now this 15 cage maybe. It can't have a 1 in it because I can't put 1 in any of those cells. It can't have a 2 in it because I can't put 2 in any of those cells. So it's either got 3, 4, or well, it's either got 3, 4, but it could have both. Now, can I determine any more? This has to be an 8 or a 9 because it's got to be 5 away from the 3 or 4. So it has to have an 8 or a 9 in it. If this is 9, these would sum to 6 and have to be either 2, 4 or 1 5, and that's not going to work. So this is an 8. When this is an 8, these have to sum to 7, and the only way to do that is with 3 4. So this becomes a 3 4. Can't be the 3 here. This is the 4, this is the 3, which makes this the 5, and this the 3, which means that is a low digit. These are now 7 and 9, which means these are high digits. I've got to be in the right mode. And these are 6 and 8. This can't be a 6 because it's next to a 3, so that becomes an 8. This becomes a 6. This becomes a 1. 1 and 6 is 7, so this becomes a 5. These now have to sum to 9, but this is a low digit. It's a 2, a 3, or a 4. So this is a 7, 6, or 5. And it can't be a 5, so this can't be a 4. So this is also, and it couldn't have been a 4 anyway, because 4 would have needed a 9 there. So that's kind of something. These are all high digits because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the row. And so this is from 7, 8, 9, and this is from 6, 7, 9. There must be a 6 in one of those two. There must be an 8 in one of those two. Now this 16 cage, it can't have a 1, a 3, or a 5 in it. So without a 1, a 3, or a 5, it's actually forced. It's got to be 2, 6, 8. That's the 2, and this is a 6, 8 pair. And you can work that out by doing math, or you can use a calculator. I am perfectly happy for people to use calculators. These are high digits, and they can't be 6 or 8, so these are 7 and 9. Now, 12 with a 7 or a 9 in it. So it can't be 1, 3, 8. It can't be 1, 5, 6. It can't be 2, 4, 6. It can't be 3, 4, 5. So this has to be, well, a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Well, it can't be a 1, so it's a 2, 3, or 4. This is actually a known triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 9. I've forgotten how this hangs together. But, 1 is in one of those two. 3 is down here. One is in one of those two. This can't be 6, so this is 7, 8, 9. Is it this 14 cage maybe? Because it must have a 7 or a 9. So it can't be 1, 5, 8, 2, 4, 8, 3, 5, 6. What is going on with... I've mentioned many times in the past that I use music to keep me centered, and my music, of course, as soon as I start solving, stops. So this is 1, 2, or 4 because it can't be 3. And this can't be a high digit. So this has to be low or 5. So anything that needs 2 high digits can't be. So it can't be 1, 6, 7, but... Oh, I'd forgotten the trick, which I always kind of like. So this is 7, 8, 9. This is 6, 7, 9. There was, I thought, something easier. So this has got to be low, and it can't be 1 or 3. So it's 2 or 4. So if it's 4, it goes with 9. If it's 2, it can go with any of those. I can't put a 5 into this 12 cage because I can't put a 5 into this 12 cage because it's the only cell that could be a 5 sees a 5. So there's no 5 in this. So this has to be low, because if this was 2 high digits, 6 and 7 would be 13. This would have to be a 1, and I can't put a 6 there anyway. So this has to be a low digit. So these are from 2, 3, and 4. So if this is 2, 3, this is 7. Okay, that could work. If it's 3, hang on, if this is 3, this is 2, 3, this is 7. Hang on, but if I increase that at all, this would have to go down, not up. If this is 9, Yeah, if this is 9 or 8, this has to sum to 3 or 4, and I can't do that. So this is 7, this is 2, 3. That's the thing. This is 1 or 4. That 7 takes 7 out of there. 1, 2, 3 means that this is either 7, 8, or 9. 6 is up here somewhere now. It kind of always was. Because 6 can never be in the middle. 4 and 6 can never be in any of these cells, but this can't be a 4 or a 3. That's a 2 because it's next to a 7. So that is now a 2. So a 2 here means that this is either, these sum to 10. So it's 1, 9 or 3, 7. So that is a low 1, 3. This is not a 2 anymore. So this is either 1, 4, 9. I can't put a 2 in this cage. So it's 1, 4, 9 or 3, 4, 7. So that is also low. But that can't be 4. So 3, 4, 7. There must be a 4, and I can't put a 4 here. That is a 4, which means both of those are 9, which means this is a 1, this is a 3, 2 and 3 is 5, which means that is a 7. Keep forgetting the whisper tricks. This 9, of course, means this could be 1 or 4. Doesn't work the other way around. But these have to sum to 5, so this is a 1 or a 4. There's no 4 there. 4 is in one of those. That's not a 9. That's a 6, 7 pair now. So all of the high digits are taken from here, and that's a low digit. That has to be a 5. It sees all 4 lows and all 4 highs. That is a 5. So these 3 digits are all low. And those 3 digits are all high. So that is not a 1. That's the 1, which is low. This is a 2, 3. This is a 1, 2, 4. And this is a 1, 2, 3. And it's not 1 or 2. That's a 3. That's a 2. That's a 3. That's not a 2. That 3 means that can't be 7 anymore. This is 6, 7, or 8. There is a 9 in one of those two because I can't put it in either of those. So there's a 9 in one of those two. So this is 7, 8, 9, and it's not 7. So I've got an 8, 9 pair in the column. So this is 6, 8, 9. Four is in one of those two. And 4 is right there because 4 has to be 4 in this box. This was actually a 4, 5 pair, and the 4 couldn't be there. So that becomes the 5. This becomes the 4. I'd kind of forgotten all of this. I love it. I do really enjoy it when I forget how to solve my own puzzles and I have to rediscover the logic, particularly when it's a cool puzzle. And I'll let other people choose for themselves whether they think it's a cool puzzle. These are 2, 3, and 4. Because that's a 2, 3, 4 triple, because all of the other digits are done. This can't be a 2. In fact, this can't be 2 or 3. This is the 4. And this is not a 4. This is a 2 or a 3. Well, this 1 makes this 4, which makes this 1, which makes this 4. 2, 3. Got to put a 6 in there. That could be it. I've probably forgotten something important, whispery. Sorry, the cough is still persisting. This 7 looks down, making that 9 and that 7. That's just telling me that 7 and 9 are in here, but I already knew that. Is it this quadruple, which is 1, 2, 4, 5? That can't be 4. Can't be 5 because it's on a whisper. This can't be 4. This can't be 1 or 2. That's really not helping me much, is it? 4 is in one of those two. Oh, it's the cages. 8 plus 3 is 11, so this has to be a 6, which means this is the 7, which takes 7 out of both of those. This is an 8-9 pair, so this is a 6, so this is a 1. There is no 1 there. That 6 means there's no 6 up here. This 8-9 pair, not sure yet. But that cage, and there's probably other cages I've completely ignored, although maybe not. But that was important. This is a triple. 1, 2, 5, 9. Okay. Eight, 9. These are from 6, 7, 8, 9, so they're all high. There's no 6 there. 4 has to be in one of those two for the row. It can't be in those, so that has to be the 4, which I could have got by just eliminating 4 from there. This is now a 7, 8, 9 triple in the row, so this is the 6. This is not the 6. 6 is now up here somewhere, but I already had that. These are not 7, 8, 9, so they are 1, 3, and 5. That's not 1 or 5, that is the 3. One, 5, 1, 5. Wow, I have forgotten every trick I knew. I do love exploring my own puzzles again, but sometimes it can be a bit frustrating. So what is these? These are triples. 1, 5, and 8. Well, that can't be a 1. And that can't be a 1 or a 5. That's an 8, that's a 5, that's a 1. There you go. So that is high, that is low. So these are 1, 2, and 6. So that is 2 and that is 6. So that is high and that is low. This now has to be 7, 8, or 9. This 1 made this 5. That happened ages ago. Which means this is 2, which is low. This is 4, which means that is 9. This is 8, this is 5. 4 is, by the way, low. That is low as well. There's no 2 in either of those. This is a 5, 9 pair. These are 2, 3, and 7. There's no 2 there. I can take the 3 out of the corners. 2, 3, and 7. Not sure. But I'm whittling it down. There's no 8 there. This is 7 or 9. So these are high. Oh, it's that. That's been there forever. Everyone can yell at me as much as you like because 3 can't go next to 7 on the whisper line. I knew there was something I was missing. That is 2. That is not 2. Oh well. So that 8 makes that 9, which means that's not 9. The 6, 8 pair makes that 7. Now, I can't believe I missed that for so long. 4 means I really should redo this, but I'm not going to. Because that was an atrocious solve of this puzzle. That's 7, that's 8, that is 7, that is 9. The 7 makes that 3, which makes that 7. This was really a bad solve of my puzzle. I will let other people judge for themselves how they actually rate the puzzle. I think the puzzle is cool. I just think my solve of it was terrible. This has to be an 8 to complete the column 1, 2, 3, and 5. So we know the order. That is the 3, that is the 5, that is low. And now we're almost done. This is 9, which is high. This is 5, which is nothing. I need to put a 1 in there, which is low. I need to put a 2 there, which is low. These are going to be high. They are going to be 6 and 8, and that is the 6, and that is the 8, and that finishes Event Horizon. Not designed to be a tricky little puzzle. It will be a lot easier if you pay attention to the whisper logic that is sitting right in front of you for most of the puzzle and actually resolves a whole bunch of stuff that I completely ignored. I really liked the simplicity of the grid, and the fact that it was just one big long whisper line and just some cages on the event horizon of the thing, and that the center of the grid was just one big hole, hence the name of the puzzle. And the way that it was quite easy, I thought, to determine the polarity of the line. And then that kind of made some interesting deductions with the cages. It's like once you had sort of one of these cages became a bit forced, it really put pressure on the other one. And then the whisper line gave you pressure on a digit, would put pressure in the cage, which put pressure on digits, would put pressure in cage, and it sort of just worked around. I really thought that was a lot of fun, and I did not do a very good clean solve of this one, I will admit. But I thought the puzzle was cool, and I thought it was worth seeing. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the solve, and as always, good luck with your solving.